And welcome, folks. Welcome to the final preliminary league of the Global Trophy 2019.
You're here to obviously find out the last set of 8 to go through to the America's Qualifiers.
Yes, and so we have the American preliminaries here. And, well, there are a lot of teams that a lot of people probably won't know exist. Because, well, technically we should really call it just the North American League, preliminary league, really, because all the South American teams have actually qualified.
They have indeed, yes, because the South American teams are generally quite good.
Yeah, I mean, their lowest ranked team is Venezuela.
Yep.
Who are pretty decent. Well, I guess you could call it really the Central America league,
yeah,
really.
Central American and Caribbean league.
Yeah, you could say that. So, let's kick off, let's not beat about the bush and get this all sorted and see who are the next teams to go through before we get into the European qualifiers. So, first up, let's go from the dud team upwards. Let's do that. So our dud team will be the Cayman Islands.
I don't really know much about the Cayman Islands.
Everyone transfers their money there, apparently.
I thought it'd be Panama.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just used to play like a bunch of old sort of like detective games, and there's always like, oh, they transferred to a Cayman Islands account. Yeah.
Oh right. How about that?
Anyway, next up is the U.S. Virgin Islands. Sadly, the British Virgin Islands did not make it, but the U.S. one did. So
interesting.
There we go. Next up is Aruba.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's Guyana. So this is going to be pretty quick because we don't really know too much about these teams.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of these are just Caribbean teams. We don't really know much about obviously, they're all very beautiful countries, but I just don't really know much about...
Yeah. So we have Guyana. Next up, at least we've got something to say about this team, which is Cuba.
Ah, yes, Cuban cigars.
Yes, indeed. And Gaddafi. Is Gaddafi Cuban? No, Castro. Castro was Cuban.
Castro was Cuban, yeah.
Cuban, yeah.
Gaddafi was Libya.
Was what? Sorry.
Was Libya?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting me dictators mixed up. All right. So we've just had Aruba. We just had Cuba. Next up, it is Bermuda.
The triangles.
Yes. Nice one, Sam. Next up, we have Dominica.
So, Dominican Republic.
No,
or is it Dominica?
just ordinary Dominica. Dominican Republic are also in this, by the way. So yeah, but they're a bit higher up than Dominica.
Oh, well, Dominican Republic actually, my mum and dad went on holiday there.
Oh, nice.
When I was younger. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, it's St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah. They're another Caribbean island.
Yeah. And then we have Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Very beautiful place, Puerto Rico, actually.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Then we have St. Lucia. Which I'll say something about St. Lucia. We have, like, St. Vincent on the game and St. Kitts and Nevis on the game. But for some reason, I think the program's messed up, and St. Lucia doesn't have a dot at the end of the ST.
To the St. Lucia.
That's St. Lucia. There we go.
ST Lucia.
ST Lucia. There you go.
St. Lucia, I once had to do a geography project on them back in school.
Alright, cool. Okay.
Yep.
Next up is the country will catch a Grenada for you.
Is it a Grenada?
It's Grenada, indeed it is.
There you go.
Next up we have Belize.
I feel very at Belize.
Yes, very nice. And next up is probably one of the more well-known countries here in this one, mostly because people just go on holiday there a lot, which is Barbados.
Oh, Barbados is a beautiful country. I've always wanted to go there.
Mm. And next we have Suriname.
Surname?
No, Suriname.
Surname?
No. It's like Vietnam, only Suri instead of Viet.
I know.
Yeah. Also, they spelt it wrong. But regardless, on this game, it's actually got an E at the end.
Yeah, surname.
Yeah, it's literally Suriname.
Suriname.
Alright, then we have the Dominican Republic.
Yep, my parents went on holiday there when I was younger.
And last but not least, we have Guatemala. Dave Artel played football for that national team, and he's cruise manager now. He used to be our defender. It was great.
There you go.
He's not doing very well as a manager at the moment, though. I think we lost like 3 on the bounce. Not good.
No. Well, there you go.
And Cayman Islands will be our dud team, and let's get moving. Alright, so, the Africa's preliminaries, we're kicking off with Aruba versus Barbados.
Money is going to go to Barbados, because I've heard of them.
It is Barbados, 3-1.
Oh, there you go.
I'd recommend not doing that for all of them, though.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to, like, two teams you don't, like, you haven't heard of. It's like, I don't know. And then it ends up being a draw. Like it was in the African preliminaries.
Yep, absolutely.
Next up is Belize versus Bermuda.
The bees.
It's Bermuda, 1-0. And Cuba are going to be able to get 3 points here because they've got the Cayman Islands next.
What's happened to the Cayman Islands, Chris?
They got done for fraud and they can't enter the whole tournament now.
Oh, so they've been banned.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's fair enough because obviously, you know, as you say, you know, they've been done for fraud. So.
On an honest note, I've only been up for an hour. I can't think of anything for it. So
No, not me. Just
we'll just go with that. They've been banned from the rest of the tournament because of fraud. So there we go. And there will end the... So for the compilation of these, that will end this video. And bye. For this video, it's still going on, though. So there we go. We're all right. I want to do that compilation at some point, though. We'll be all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what to call it yet, but yeah. Right. Cuba beat Cayman Islands. Next up is Dominica versus Grenada.
I'm
guessing when it comes to the American teams, there's also a lot of A's as well. Like
there are a lot of A's. Yeah, there are a lot of A's, yes. It's very true. And
it's a draw between Dominica and Grenada. Next up is Guyana versus Puerto Rico.
No idea who everybody's on there.
Well, it's a draw, so yeah, keep your money where it is for the moment. Now it's the Battle of the Saints. St. Vincent and the Grenadines versus St. Lucia. Sorry, it's not a Battle of the Saints, it's a battle of one saint and one... And the winning goes to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 2-0.
Probably their first game they've ever won.
I think they've won a few, to be honest. It's not many, I admit, but... Yeah. Next up is the US Virgin Islands versus Suriname.
No idea.
It's a draw between those two, so there we go.
There you go, see, I get that was right.
Yeah. Guatemala versus the Dominican Republic is next up. The final match of the first fixture. And it's a 1-0 win for Guatemala. The goal coming probably from Dave Artell. Yeah.
There you go, Dave Artell, the world-class
the world-class guy. Hey, we won a Johnson's Paint Trophy when he was captain. That's fine.
Yeah.
Next up, it's Belize versus Aruba in the first match of the second fixture here.
No idea where my money's going for this one.
Yeah, but it's a draw. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good at this, man. I'm good at this.
Yeah. Barbados versus Bermuda next up.
I'm going to go for Barbados.
Yep, both teams have won their first match, and it ends in a draw. There's a lot of draws here.
Draw it out.
Only, like, 6 teams, and that includes our dud team that will never draw, have not drawn a game yet. Weird. Speaking of our dud team, Dominica are going to be able to get some points here. Cayman Islands play a 3-5-2.
Interesting.
Jesus.
Defensive.
Also, Dominica's flag is pretty awesome. What can I say?
Yeah.
I like the green. It's good. And R. Harper is our referee for some reason.
There you go.
Mr. R. Harper. Great. Couldn't it be J. Harper so it's a reference to On the Buses?
Well.
Oh, Jack Harper. Played by the late, great Bob Grant. There we go. See, I believe when it comes to On the Buses, there's actually only one surviving cast member now.
Oh.
And it's Anna Karen, who played Olive. She's the only... Unless she dies in, like, the next few months, then... Nah. Sorry. We didn't know. And our man of the match for that was Mr. Stosky. A. Stosky.
Mr. Stosky.
Mr. Stosky. For the Cayman Islands, indeed. Next up is Grenada versus Cuba.
I'm going to go for Cuba on this one.
It is a 2-0 win for Cuba. I'm starting to think that Cuba are going to be the big team here.
Yeah, Cuba are
paid everyone off. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. With their cigars.
Yeah. Guyana now versus Lucia.
I'm going to go for St. Lucia.
It's a draw.
Oh.
Another draw. Guyana
Another
on
one.
2 draws right now. Puerto Rico now versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
No idea.
It's another draw. Now it's the US Virgin Islands versus the Dominican Republic.
There you For Dominican Republic.
It is a 2-1 victory for Dominican Republic. They move up into 7th. They're in a good position right now, I'd say, after their first loss. Suriname now against Guatemala.
I have no idea who's going to win this one, I'll be honest with you.
It's a... Well, Dave Artel's on a roll now. 4 goals for him. He's a defender, but he scored 4 goals. Beat Suriname 4-0.
You know when, back in the day when Chris Samba used to play a striker for like Blackburn or something?
What?
You know when Christopher Samba from used to play like striker for Blackburn if they had no strikers?
Oh, yeah.
This is what he's doing, he's playing striker.
No, either that or he's just doing a Roberto Carlos.
Ah, true.
Roberto Carlos is a great player, I'm going to say. Brilliant player.
Oh, yeah, he was there. Absolutely.
Right, so at the end of Fixture 2, we're going to Fixture 3 now. It's Bermuda versus Aruba. Bermuda looking pretty good in 6th place right now. Aruba down in 12th.
Who knows?
Well, it is a 2-1 win for Bermuda.
The triangles carrying on.
Yep, haven't lost a game just yet, so looking good for them. Belize versus Barbados next up.
Oh, does it Barbados again? Because they've been in quite good form so far.
It's a 2-0 win for Belize.
Oh, maybe not them.
And Grenada are going to get some points here against the not Dominican Republic, against the Cayman Islands, who both play 3-5-2.
Interesting.
Interesting formation there. Grenada, do you notice a lot of these sort of like Central American countries or Caribbean countries have actually got really cool flags. They like their use of a very sharp green. Quite nice.
I like a good sharp green, me.
Sharp green's always nice, like mint.
Mint.
Mint's a very sharp green.
It is indeed. It's quite a nice green.
It's nice, you know. I mean, just think of the amount of mints you have in like chewing gum. It's like spearmint and peppermint and bubble mint, like Wrigley's, the chewing gum. Not a sponsor. Not for this, at least. Anyway, next up is Dominica versus Cuba. Cuba looking pretty strong right now, I'd say.
Yeah, Cuba looking pretty good. I think, you know, they're probably one of the better teams in here, so they're probably going to end up qualifying, but we'll have to wait and see. So
it's a 2-1 win for Dominica, so there you go. Cuba suffered their first loss.
After all that.
Yep, Ghana now versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines. St. Vincent currently in 5th right now, looking pretty good.
Will they be able to qualify?
It's a 4-1 win for St. Vincent. Oh, God.
Maybe so.
Maybe so for St. Vincent. St. Lucia now versus Puerto Rico. 2 teams that are on the low end of qualifying right now.
Yep.
And it's a win for St. Lucia that moves them up into 9th.
Good for St. Lucia. You know, they're obviously a beautiful Caribbean island, so we'll have to wait and see how they go on.
Yep. And Guatemala versus the US Virgin Islands. Well, it's another 2 goals for Dave Artel. What can you say? You know, it's a 2-1 win for Guatemala. They are the only team to have won all their games so far.
What a man. Artel, mate.
Yeah. And Dominican Republic versus Suriname. Suriname currently bottom so far, but they do have a point already.
Oh, dear.
And they've just gained another point. It's a draw. But already after Fixture 3, every team has got a point so far.
It's good to see, apart from, obviously...
yeah, but they've been buggered, so there you go. They've been buggered by the Rossers, so it's fine. Aruba versus the Cayman Islands. Aruba, who play 4-2-4. Jeez. And Aruba's flag is literally just a light blue flag with 2 Actually, I really like this flag.
Yeah.
I really adore this flag. It's sort of like a blue with a few yellow lines going across it. I wonder why I like it. I wonder. What does blue and yellow mean to me?
No idea. Nothing at all.
Looks at the channel icon. Oh. Right. Gotcha.
Yes, of course.
Also, actually, it actually kind of looks like my first Masterath t-shirt I got printed. Which was blue. Yeah, which is blue with sort of like yellow writing on it saying the chibi little man. And then it had sort of like 2 yellow lines going in there. So that does remind me a bit. I didn't even know that. I completely forgot about that. Nice. Thanks, Aruba. Enjoy your 3 points. Right, Cuba versus Barbados. Barbados currently in 9th, Cuba in 5th right now.
Cuba looking good.
Yep, it's a 1-0 win for Cuba. They're up into 2nd. Next up, it's Dominica versus Belize. Belize currently in 7th, Dominica in 4th.
Could be a close game, this one.
It's a 2-1 win for Dominica. They're moving on upwards. Very well played from Dominica.
Dominica doing well, better than the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, who are languishing in 10th right now.
Surprising.
Grenada versus Bermuda. 5th versus 6th here.
Who's your odds on?
I'm going to say Grenada, personally. Well, it's a draw, so there we go.
No, fifth versus sixth. They're obviously two teams that are trying to establish themselves as
very
contenders.
close.
So.
Next up is the US Virgin Islands versus Guyana. Two teams on the low end again. US Virgin Islands currently in 15th, Guyana in 13th. They both need victories here, and it's a win for Guyana. Moves them up into 7th. From 13th to 7th.
See, it is still quite close. You know, there's no.
Well, the amount of teams that are on 4 points right now is insane. Just thought I'd mention that. There's like 5 teams on 4 points.
I bet there's people who've drew all 4 games as well.
No, actually. The most amount has actually been 3 games drawn so far. Puerto Rico versus Suriname is next up. Again at the bottom, Puerto Rico 13th, Suriname in 14th. It's a 3-1 win for Suriname. They move up into 8th.
Back into the contention.
Yep. St. Lucia now versus the Dominican Republic, 11th versus 12th. Very close matches here. It's a draw. That actually moves St. Lucia up into 7th and Dominican Republic into 8th. So there we go.
It is so close.
And next up, St. Vincent versus Guatemala.
No idea.
And another 2 goals for Dave Artell. 2-1.
What a legend.
Guatemala are looking strong here.
What a legend.
Yeah, Guatemala looking strong. One of 3 teams to have not lost a game yet.
I'm sure that will obviously change at some point, but...
Yeah, as we go into fixture 5, it's Cuba versus Aruba. Aruba currently 11th, Cuba in 3rd. Looking pretty good so far. Ooh, it's a draw.
Well, yeah, again, undefeated, so it's alright.
Yep, and next up is Barbados versus the Cayman Islands. So, some much-needed points here for Barbados. The aggressive bastards that play 4-2-4. Barbados' flag's kind of cool as well. You know, it's 3 vertical stripes, and it's blue, yellow, blue. I wonder why I like that so much. It's got trident in the middle and everything. Anyway, our referee is Jack Daniels again.
Oh no, not again.
Not Jack Daniels. He's got drunk again. He's actually vomited all over the pitch. So they've actually had to call off the match and give the win to Barbados due to a waterlogged pitch. Well, technically a vomit-logged pitch, I guess. Bloody Jay Daniels, you worst referee.
Dear, dear.
The worst referee. Awful. Like, doesn't even do it. Like, how does he still have his job? I don't know.
Who knows? I don't know.
Oh wow, and the man of the match was actually from Barbados, and his name was C. Frost.
Well,
what a name.
There you go.
I'm going to say the C is Carlton. Carlton Frost. There we go. Carlton Frost. Principle of Funk. Next up is Belize versus Grenada. 2 teams are... Well, Belize are in 13th, so they're not looking too good. Grenada in 7th. Both teams do need a win here. It's a 2-1 win for Belize. They move up right up into 7th.
Good for Belize.
Yeah, from pretty much the bottom to right there. Dominican Bermuda next. It's 3rd versus 4th here. Big match. Both 2 of the 3 teams that have not lost a game yet. And both still haven't lost a game yet. It's a draw.
It's another draw.
Next up, Suriname versus Guyana. 2 of the lower end teams here. And it's a win for Suriname. They're up into 5th now. It's very close, this.
It's very close. I mean, so far there's no team that's really gone away and, like, much like Indonesia did or Kenya did in their respective qualifiers, and gone away and, like, dominated. Everyone else is just kind of, scrapping against themselves.
Well, I don't know. Guatemala.
Well, they've been very strong.
They've won every game so far. We'll see if that continues. But first up, it's the US Virgin Islands versus Puerto Rico. 2 of the teams again on the lower side. Actually, the bottom 2 teams so far. And it's a win for Puerto Rico. They move up into 13th. We're starting to see that maybe the US Virgin Islands will be the first team to go out here. Next is St. Lucia, Guatemala. Dave Artell was sick that day. He was ill that day. It was a draw.
There you go. So he didn't play. He was injured.
Yeah, but Guatemala still 2 points ahead of Dominica here so far. So they've got a bit of a gap. Not much of one, but it's a bit of one. St. Vincent now versus the Dominican Republic, who currently lie in 12th. St. Vincent in 6th. They're in a good position now.
Yeah, I think St. Vincent are looking pretty strong considering the size of their country. Relative.
Yep, and a 4-1 win for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Wow.
St. Vincent up into 3rd now. Looking pretty good, I'd say. So we go into fixture 6 here, and it's Aruba versus Dominica to kick things off. Dominica currently in 2nd, Aruba in 10th.
So you have said Dominica are the favourites?
It's a 2-0 win for Aruba.
Oh, wow.
Aruba up into 6th now, looking strong. Next is Grenada, Barbados. Barbados in 8th, Grenada in 11th. Again, this is a very important match for both teams.
Yeah, Barbados wins this, they leapfrog right at the table.
Yes, and they have won. They're up into 5th. They're joint with Cuba.
Good stuff for Barbados. Fair play to them.
But Belize are about to go just as close to them because they've got the Cayman Islands. And again, Belize, aggressive bastards, 4-2-4.
Yeah. Who knows?
There we go. So, out of the way. And, oh, it's Hust again. It's Hust. Oh, Hust. Him. Oliver Hust. Him. He is the referee.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mr. Hust.
Oliver Hust. Oscar Hust. Orville Hust. That's it, Orville. Orville Hust. That's
Sounds right to me.
Best name in the world. Best name in the world. Alright, and the man of the match for this random match was C. Chicos. Great, okay.
It's Chico's time.
It's Chico's time, apparently, yes. God, that's old.
That was 2006.
That's old. Jeez. This tournament is older, but not by much.
True.
That's how old it is. Bermuda versus Cuba next up. Cuba currently in 4th, but with a win can go right up into 2nd. Big enough win, they go into 1st.
Yep, very true.
It's a draw.
Not enough.
Great result there. Bermuda have not lost a game yet, but they have drawn 4 games and only won 2. But they're in 7th so far, so they're actually not looking too bad.
Yeah, they're not doing too badly, but obviously they can't keep drawing. They won't be able to win.
Yeah.
They won't be able to qualify.
They need to start winning games. Next up is Ghana versus the Dominican Republic. 2 teams that are on the very low end. Ghana in 14th, Dominican Republic in 13th. And it's a draw. The gap is widening between every other team and the US Virgin Islands.
Yeah, they need to just... They need to not start either picking up points because, you know, let's face it, those guys that are down the bottom, you know, if they keep drawing, which they are doing, it's not enough.
Yeah. And, a last-minute goal from Dave Artel wins it 1-0 against Puerto Rico. So Guatemala looking very strong.
How many points clear are they? 5
at the moment, but St. Vincent is still yet to play.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Speaking of Saints, not Saints actually, it's the US Virgin Islands versus St. Lucia.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually a win for the Virgin Islands. Look at that. Their first win.
Oh, wow.
St. Vincent now take on Suriname in the last match of fixture number 6. And it's a 3-1 win for St. Vincent. They're into 2nd place. Guatemala only have a 3-point lead so far. Then it's Cuba, and then Dominica, Barbados, Belize, Bermuda, and Aruba are all going through at this point so far. Next up is Aruba versus Grenada. Grenada, who are pretty low. They're 13th so far. Aruba in 8th.
The rest of the times. Aruba might qualify. They're looking alright for it.
Yep. Aruba in 8th. Oh, it's a draw.
There's
loads of draws here, I gotta say.
There's a shocker. Apart from Guatemala.
Yeah, who are bossing it right now, to be honest. Dominica now versus Barbados. It's 4th versus 5th. Maybe expect a draw. No, it's not a draw. It's a win for Dominica. Next we have Belize versus Cuba. Again, 2 teams in that top 8. Big important match for both teams here. And it's a win for Belize. They beat Cuba.
That's crazy.
Belize up into 4th.
Considering Cuba have been so strong so far as well.
Yeah, now they're just kind of crumbling.
Yeah.
Now it's Cayman Islands versus another set of aggressive bastards. with a 4-2-4 Bermuda. Both teams formerly or currently ruled by the UK.
Yep.
Then our referee is Mr. J. Braun. Maybe Ross Braun. That would be alright.
Well, yeah, Ross Braun's a lad.
Ross Braun. Oh, no, he made a team, and that team went on to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's enough. We don't need to do another one. Hang on, didn't they become something else, though?
They're currently Mercedes. So
Yeah.
Mercedes. So literally, they've won every championship since 2014.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, but they gave Jenson Button a much-needed win, though. Come on.
Very true. Very true.
They gave it to the Button.
Yeah.
All right, Ghana versus Guatemala next. Ghana currently lying in... Oh, wow, pretty low, actually. 13th. This is Guatemala, who are currently flying high in first. Well, it's 5-goal thriller with Dave Artell right here. He's looking really strong. That's 15 goals in 7 matches.
The guy's an animal.
For a defender. Yeah. A 5-0 win for Guatemala. That's a big performance from them.
Yes.
Next up, Dominican Republic versus Puerto Rico. Two teams that are pretty low. So they both need a win here. But it's a draw between the two teams. See,
Of course it is.
They're starting to draw too much. That's the problem coming up.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. Last. We've got Suriname now against St. Lucia. St. Lucia currently in 11th. Suriname in 9th. Very important match for both teams.
It's going to be a draw.
It's a win for St. Lucia. They needed that.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely.
Up in the 9th. And lastly, St. Vincent versus the US Virgin Islands. And it's a win for St. Vincent. No one's surprised.
Yeah.
So, at the end of fixture 7, Guatemala still have a 3-point lead over St. Vincent. As we go into fixture number 8, the halfway point.
Halfway point in the league, and so far, obviously I have to say Guatemala looking very strong. I think, also St. Vincent also looking pretty good.
Yeah, St. Vincent looking really good so far. Next up we have Ghana versus Aruba. Two teams that are, well, Aruba is in 8th right now, but they need to start winning more games. Ghana, 14th. They're pretty low down.
Yeah, they're pretty much out.
No, but they're only 4 points behind 7th, though. That's how close it is there.
Oh, wow, because everyone keeps bloody drawing.
Yeah, but it's a 4-1 win for Aruba. It's a great performance.
They didn't draw that one.
Yep. Barbados now versus Puerto Rico.
How many we go for Barbados?
It's a draw, obviously.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah. St. Lucia now against Belize. St. Lucia in 9th. They need a win here. Belize in 4th, but only 2 behind 8th. Or 2 ahead of 8th, so...
It's close stuff.
Close match here. It's a win for Belize.
Not anymore.
Nope, the gap's widening for Belize. They're looking pretty good now. St. Vincent versus Bermuda. St. Vincent currently in 2nd, Bermuda in 5th. And it's another win for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
They're on fire.
Yeah, and the US Virgin Islands are about to get some more points here. They got Cayman Islands.
There you go.
And US Virgin Islands, aggressive bastards. 4-2-4.
Hey, imagine playing 4-2-4.
Imagine that. Like, the defense you get is great. Oh, God. Okay, everyone is dead. Okay, not everyone's dead, but everyone is in A&E right now.
Oh, dear.
Our referee is Mr. V. Jones.
Oh, no.
Everyone's in the hospital bay now. The Cayman Islands have had to get rid of tax dodgers trying to prevent themselves from getting arrested and just injuring themselves randomly like car crashes. They've had to go because 2 football teams have just been beaten up by a Welshman.
I mean, why not?
Why not, indeed. The referee just... Vinnie Jones just went, Stusky, you can have the man of the match, why not? Right, Cuba versus Suriname. Cuba have fallen to 7th now. Suriname in 10th. And Cuba continue to fall.
Oh, dear.
Cuba were looking good. Now they are on the cusp of losing their spot in the Global Trophy qualifiers here.
Yeah,
for America. Dominican Republic versus Dominica. Oh, it's the crunch match now.
It's the derby, the Dominica derby.
And it's a win for the Dominican Republic.
Oh, wow.
They beat Dominica and move up into 10th. And our last match to fixture number 7. Guatemala have finally lost.
Oh, wow.
And now, when it comes to not goal difference, but goals for, St. Vincent moves into 1st.
Goodness me.
There you go. Both on 19 points after 8 games.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Next up, it's Aruba versus Puerto Rico. As we move into the second half of the American preliminaries. And it's a good one for Aruba. A 3-0 win puts them up into 4th.
That's 2 wins back-to-back for Aruba, and that's, obviously, because everyone keeps drawing, that's a really good result for them. They've really propelled themselves up the table.
Yeah, very good. Guyana now versus Barbados. Barbados in 8th right now. Guyana, very low. Bottom, actually, if you don't count Cayman Islands. And it's a win for Barbados. They move up into 5th.
There you go.
St. Vincent now against Belize. It's 1st versus 3rd. It's a big match here. And it's a win for Belize.
Wow.
St. Vincent. Now they've lost a match and their goal difference went down. Guatemala are back in 1st with the game in hand. St. Lucia now versus Bermuda. St. Lucia currently in 11th. Bermuda currently in 7th place.
What a crazy.
2 ahead of Cuba in 8th.
Cuba have really slipped down there, haven't they?
Yep. And it's Bermuda with a victory. 2-1. They're up into 4th. Suriname are going to get some points, though. They've got the Cayman Islands. Are they going to be aggressive bastards? Of course they are. 4-2-4. So many 4-2-4s here in America, isn't there? So many.
Everyone likes to, play aggressive football, but obviously there's more to it than just scoring loads of goals.
Yes. Well, maybe it's just because like their defense and their attack is so good they just cancel each other out, and then we get a multiple amount of draws.
Maybe.
That's probably why. That'll explain it. Right. So, without the way, I'm going to be yawning. I didn't get to bed until about 3 o'clock. I was actually recording videos until about 3 o'clock.
Good God.
I went out for a night out yesterday, so I had like 5 pints, and I came back, and I just thought, sod it, I want to finish off Area 3 of Capsule Monster Coliseum, so I just did that until about 3 o'clock.
Fair enough.
Dedication, damn it. Anyway, next up, it's the US Virgin Islands versus Cuba. Cuba down in 9th now. And they continue to fall. It's a draw.
Oh, dear me.
Oh, Cuba, what happened to you? You were doing
It all
so
started
well.
so well. It all started so well.
Let's say they were doing so well, and now they are 7 points behind 1st.
They were right up there at one point.
Yeah. Guatemala now versus Dominica. Dominica currently in 7th place. They dropped a bit because of Dominican Republic's victory.
Yep.
But it's a draw between these two. So Guatemala have a 1-point lead.
Crazy. I mean, they were 5 points ahead at one point. They've really slipped back.
Yep. Dominican Republic now versus Grenada. It's another win for Dominican Republic. They're starting to move up.
Good for them.
Up into 9th as we go into fixture number 10. It's St. Lucia versus Aruba to kick things off. St. Lucia currently in 11th. The gap's starting to widen from the top 10. But Aruba looking good in 5th.
Yeah, absolutely. Aruba, I think they've won 3 games in a row now, so they've really started to look good.
Make that 4.
Oh, wow.
3-1 victory for Aruba. They're up into 4th.
Oh, wow. Good for them.
Yep. St. Vincent now, who currently rely in 2nd, versus Barbados in 7th. Big win here for Barbados. And it is a win for Barbados! 1-0 win, and that moves Barbados up into 5th. Now it's Guyana versus Belize. Guyana, very low. Bottom, in fact. Belize, currently in 3rd. It's a 1-0 win for Belize. Belize looking good. They're doing what St. Vincent couldn't. Bermuda now versus Puerto Rico. Bermuda currently in 6th. They're kind of comfortable, but they could do with a win here. And they do get a win. 3-0.
Good for them.
Dominican Republic are going to get some more points. They've got the Cayman Islands next.
Yeah,
Are they going
good
to
one,
be...
aren't they?
Wow, they're actually not aggressive bastards. They're midfielding bastards. 3-5-2.
Oh, right.
But the Dominican Republic's flag looks pretty cool, I'd say. It's red and blue with the... It's sort of like red and blue with the stripe... Oh, oh, God. Okay, everyone... Okay, he's drunk again. He's drunk again. Oh, God. It's Jack Daniels, the referee, again.
Oh, God.
Why? He's like, oh, I'm on holiday in the Caribbean. And then he gets drunk and just falls over. Anyway, he actually fell over the goalposts, actually. And he had so much drink that he was so load-bearing that they actually just fell off. And no one could bother to pick it back up. So, actually, what happened is that Dominican Republic didn't have a goal net. So Cayman Islands couldn't score. There you go, that's why. Oh, hang on a minute. No, they're not. They're not even in it. Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
Right, Guatemala versus Cuba. This could be a return to form for Cuba, or it could be Guatemala carrying on their very impressive run so far. It's a 3-1 win for Cuba. Thank God for that. They're finally starting to put their arse into gear.
Good for Cuba. Guatemala, bad for them. We know that they were expected to win this this league, and obviously they're not doing so now.
Yep, the US Virgin Islands now versus Dominica. And that's going to sting the Dominican Republic. A win for Dominica puts Dominican Republic, at the moment, into the dud team spot.
Ooh.
Big rivalry between those two. Suriname,
Absolutely.
Grenada next, 10th versus 11th, to finish off the 10th fixture. And it's a win for Grenada. Gaining ground on Suriname there. Alright, we're into fixture number 11. We're nearly there, only 5 to go. No team looks like they're safe. No team looks like they're out yet. It's Aruba versus St. Vincent. It's St. Vincent who are 3rd right now versus Aruba who are 5th.
I don't know where my money's going on this one. It's just kind of up in the air.
Well, it is a win for St. Vincent.
St. Vincent have been excellent, haven't they? They might win this thing.
Yeah, they very well could do. Barbados versus St. Lucia next. St. Lucia currently in 12th. Barbados in 7th. They're not safe. They need to start winning more. Barbados. And they have a 2-0 win. Next up, Belize versus Puerto Rico. Belize currently in 2nd. But they have a game in hand over St. Vincent. They got the same amount of points. So it's a win for Belize. They've moved 3 points clear.
Good for them.
But out of nowhere, Belize, I'd say. Out of nowhere.
But he started so poorly as well. They didn't start poorly, but they didn't start like strongly, did they?
Yeah. And now they're just on a really good run right now of wins. Bermuda currently in 5th versus Ghana, who are pretty bad, to be honest. And,
yep.
Well, that proves it. Bermuda win 3-1. Bermuda getting up into those levels now. And Guatemala are going to get some points here against the Cayman Islands. So that's some very important points for Guatemala there.
Yep, absolutely. Back into form.
Yep, back into contention here, Guatemala. Yeah, so it's been very interesting. Oh, God, we got a new referee. We got Mr. S. Screech. Oh, I think that's a reference to one of the games designers, I think.
Maybe they all are.
I think Steve Screech, I think, was one of the guys that did this game. I'm fairly certain I've seen his name in this game somewhere.
Maybe they all are. Maybe they're all like Easter eggs.
Bloody egotistical bastards. Why can't you give us our Jack Daniels and Vinnie Jones as referees? We want those. We want Vinnie Jones as a referee. I want to see how well he'll do. And Mr. N. Molina was the man of the match. Molina.
Oh.
Dominican Republic now against Cuba. It's a very important match for both teams. Cuba currently in 9th, Dominican Republic in 8th. And it's a 3-1 win for Cuba.
Good for Cuba.
They need this resurgence. Yeah, they needed this resurgence. Suriname now against Dominica. And it's a win for Suriname. Oh.
Wow.
It's still very close in that sort of 7th and 8th spot.
It is.
Between 5 teams, there are 2 points in it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so close.
And Grenada have drawn with the US Virgin Islands. So, yeah. At the moment, as we go into the final 4 fixtures, Belize are 1st with 25. Guatemala are 2nd with 23. St. Vincent are 3rd with 22. Bermuda are 4th with 22. Barbados are 5th with 20.
It's so close.
Yes, and then we got Aruba, Cuba, and Dominica from 6th to 8th, all on 18.
It is so close.
It is very close so far. Aruba versus the US Virgin Islands next. Aruba need a win here. They do get a win, 1-0.
Good for them.
Barbados now against Suriname. Suriname currently in 9th, so it's a must-win for Suriname, but it's a must-win for Barbados as well. So, obviously, it ends in a draw. There we go.
Of course it would.
Dominican Republic also looking pretty good. They're in 10th right now. Only 2 behind the top 7. They need to beat Belize, who are currently 1st. And it's a win for the Dominican Republic.
Wow.
Belize take a loss, and that could mean that Guatemala comes back in with a win over Bermuda. No, that ends in a draw. This is so close.
So this opens up the bracket, the league once again for the poor old, what's it? The St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes, that could definitely leave the door wide open. But Bermuda, out of nowhere, has been able to get into contention here. And everyone is again in hospital. People from the Cayman Islands, they've just got out of hospital. And Guyana, and it's like Vinnie Jones just punched them. All of them. Beat him up. And then just give him the win to Guyana, because he actually doesn't like the Cayman Islands.
There you go.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know if Vinnie Jones liked the Cayman Islands or not. I don't know.
You might do.
He might do. Oh, by the way, while this is doing it, the news of the third team that's not actually in this game, but have qualified for the Global Trophy, they actually have automatically gone straight through to the American Qualifiers. Weren't even involved in this.
Yeah, due to the fact of their high FIFA ranking.
Yeah, and that is Curacao. Curacao?
Cacao?
Cacao. Africa, cow. Hang on, wrong. America, cow. There you go.
Yeah, that's better.
Alright, so, Ghana, no one cares. They're pretty low down, I'd say, at this point. Puerto Rico now against Cuba. Cuba need a win here. They're in 8th so far. And they do get a win. 3 wins on the bounce for Cuba. Next is St. Lucia versus Dominica. Dominica now in 9th. St. Lucia, pretty low down at this point. 13th for them. And it's a draw. This now means that Dominica are in 8th, Dominican Republic are in 9th, and they both have 19 points. Oh, God. One team will be dud. One team won't even make it at this rate. We're starting to see a slight gap between 7th and 8th. 2 points now between them.
They need to start winning again.
Yep. Grenada versus St. Vincent next up. A win for St. Vincent puts them first on goal difference. And it does. A win. There's 1 goal in it between St. Vincent and Belize. St. Vincent retake first.
Good for them.
As we go into fixture number 13. 3 to go. And no team is safe yet.
Not at all.
Still, 3 games to go and no team is safe. Teams are out, though. Puerto Rico are out. The US Virgin Islands are out. Guyana are out. St. Lucia are out. So, the top 11 can still do it. But it's going to be close for certain teams like Grenada, for example. But any of the top 10, they've easily got a chance. It's Suriname versus Aruba. 2 of those teams in the top 10. And it's a draw. No one's surprised.
It's very close.
Barbados versus the US Virgin Islands. Barbados currently in 7th. They need to start winning again. They were on a good run of form. They may be able to bring some back right at the end, though. A 2-1 win for Barbados. Looking a lot better now. Belize versus Guatemala. 2nd versus 3rd. The 2 giants are going to clash. And it's a win for Guatemala. 2 losses in a row for Belize.
There you go. So they've pulled themselves back into it.
Yeah, Bermuda now versus the Dominican Republic. Bermuda in 5th. Dominican Republic in 9th so far. And it's a win for Bermuda. And Puerto Rico, who are bottom of the table so far, are going to get some 3 points against Cayman Islands. But, yeah. Now, they're already out. You know, really, they should have gone home themselves and just ended it in a bugger-all draw.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's a shame, really, but there you go.
Yeah, so, looking good so far. A lot of those top teams, but it's so close in that top 7. In top 10, actually, it's pretty close. And there's only about 7 or 8 points in it between 1st and 10th.
Yeah, not easy to call, really. Not easy to call at all.
It's very close. This one's probably going to go down to the wire.
Yep.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if it goes right down to the final match. Would not surprise me one bit. It could do, though. It could do to see which teams survive. Final fixture, we can have like 5 teams looking to qualify. If not more than that.
Yeah, I mean, this has been probably the closest out of all the leagues so far.
Yep. Next up is Ghana versus Cuba. Cuba need a win here. This is a gimme for them. Oh, it's a 3-2 gimme. So it was a close gimme, but it was a gimme nonetheless. Dominican now versus St. Vincent. St. Vincent, if they win, will go first against Dominica. Dominica need a win here. They're in 8th so far. It's a win for Dominica. St. Vincent takes a hit.
Oh, dear.
Next up is Grenada versus St. Lucia. I think they're both out at this point. Yeah, they're both out, so there you go. It's a win for St. Lucia.
Good for them, anyway.
Staying in 12th so far. So, 2 fixtures left to go. Still the top 10. Still no one is safe. With 2
So
fixtures
close.
left. It's that close.
It's so close.
Dominican Republic versus Aruba. Aruba currently in that 7th spot. Dominican Republic in 10th. 3 behind Aruba. It's that close.
They need to win.
It's a win for Aruba.
Wow, there you go. So they move back up the table.
And Dominican Republic are out.
Oh, it's a shame. It is a shame, but, you know, these things have to happen eventually.
Yep, next up is Barbados versus Guatemala.
I don't know how to call this one.
It's a win for Guatemala, and I think that means that they're through.
There you go.
Guatemala move 8 clear of Barbados. I'm fairly certain they're through. Belize now versus the US Virgin Islands. And it's a 4-0 win for Belize. Back on form, Belize.
Yep, absolutely.
Suriname versus Bermuda. Bermuda currently lying in 3rd place. Suriname in 9th place. And it's a win for Bermuda. Bermuda have also qualified.
There you go.
St. Lucia are going to get some more points here against the Cayman Islands. So there we go.
Yeah,
This is getting very close.
It is going to be close.
Only, with 2 fixtures left to go, no one was safe yet. And now we've got Guatemala who's through, Bermuda's through. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to do it here. Who are going to make it? Who are going to make it through? There's 10 teams that can do it. Well, now there's only 9.
Yeah, obviously already through are Guatemala.
Yep, and Bermuda, both through already. The teams in the higher echelons like Belize and St. Vincent are looking very good as well, because for them to go out, they need a lot of results to not go their way, to go against them. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens really there in the final fixture, and who's left in the final fixture.
Yeah, another thing that might affect it is who ends up playing the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, Cuba versus St. Vincent is next. It's 6th versus 5th. It's an important match for both teams here. And it's a win for St. Vincent.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sets them up as qualifying, doesn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Dominica versus Guyana next. And it's a draw. Oh, God, that's not good for Dominica. But that now means that Suriname are out.
Oh, wow.
That draw means Suriname are out. Puerto Rico versus Grenada to finish off the 14th fixture with a 1-0 win for Grenada. All right, so the final fixture, and this is how it goes. So, we know our top 8. We know our 8 that go through, but who's going to be the dud?
So the top 8 have indeed all qualified, correct?
Sorry?
The top 8 have all qualified.
They've all qualified, yes. But
However,
who's going to be that dud team?
Okay.
That's the thing. There are 4 teams that could be the dud team. Barbados, Cuba, Dominica, and Aruba.
So it could be any one of those 3.
4.
4.
Yeah. St. Vincent, Belize, Bermuda, and Guatemala are through. Straight away through. Guatemala versus Aruba next. Aruba need a win here. If they win, they're through. It's a draw.
Oh, dear.
Dominican Republic now versus Barbados. Barbados in 7th. It's a win for Barbados. Barbados are through.
Good for Barbados. They've qualified. And, you know, fair play to those guys.
Yep. 3 left now. Aruba, Cuba, Dominica. Who's going to be the dud team? I've got to say that Aruba do look very good right now.
They've been the ones in form, haven't they?
Yeah, Aruba do look very good right now. I mean, they've played all their games, but they have a massive goal difference, which is good for them. Belize, they're already through. Suriname are out, and it's a win for Belize, which puts them into 2nd place. Bermuda can actually still win this. They can snatch it away from Guatemala right at the end, and they've only gone and done it.
Unbelievable scene.
Bermuda. That is a truly from out of nowhere moment.
The triangles.
Bermuda have won the preliminaries for the American section. St. Vincent and the Grenadines could finish 2nd with a big win here. Oh, it's over the Cayman Islands. Okay, they'll finish 3rd. So they'll finish above Belize, but below Bermuda and Guatemala.
That's crazy. Fair play to Bermuda.
Yeah, Bermuda, out of nowhere, that was. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. That was a great result. Great result for a Bermuda there.
Absolutely.
And we get to the final fixtures. Which of those 3 teams is it going to be? I wish the St. Vincent and Cayman Islands match was at the end. It's ruining it. It's ruining all the suspense. of who's going to take those final 2 spots. And who's going to be the dud team out of those 3.
Who knows? This has been so close.
Yes. So, we do not have many matches left. Cuba versus St. Lucia. Cuba in 7th right now. If they draw, Aruba's through. If they lose, Aruba's through. If they win, they're through. It's a win for St. Lucia.
Goodness me.
Dominica, last up. The final match. Oh, no, there's not the final match, but it's the final match that matters. They've got Puerto Rico. A draw puts them through in 7th. A win puts them through as well in 7th. A big enough win puts them through in 6th. I can see it being Cuba here.
Yeah, Cuba have bottled this.
Unless Puerto Rico, 13th place, has only won 2 games all season, and one of them was against the Cayman Islands, unless they pull an upset. Sneeze. They've actually pulled an upset!
Goodness me.
Cuba survived by the skin of their teeth. Puerto Rico 1, Dominica 0. Dominica are going to be the dud team here. And the last match is Grenada, who are out, versus Guyana, who are out.
Goodness me.
And it ends, well, pretty obvious, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It ends in a draw.
Of course it does.
So, the top 8 teams that are through. We have Bermuda.
Good win.
The top team with 32 points.
Good for them. You know, as I was saying, we didn't really expect them to do that well, but they've come from nowhere to win this.
Yeah. Then it's Guatemala on 31. It was very close at the top.
Yeah. Guatemala had started so strongly, but it just kind of faded away.
Yeah. It's even closer because also on 31 in 3rd place is St. Vincent.
They had a great run, didn't they?
They did. And then in 4th place, also with 31, is Belize. It was that close.
Wow. 3 teams on 31 and the winners on 32.
Yeah. 5th place with 27 is Barbados.
Good effort. Good effort.
Yes. 6th place with 26 is Aruba.
They had a great run, didn't they? They started quite slowly, but they took off towards the end.
Yes, they did. They did really well. In 7th place, you lucky, lucky bastards. With 24, it's Cuba.
Good on Cuba. Fair play to them.
And in 8th place, that will be the dud team on 23 points, is Dominica.
Yeah, well, it's a shame for them, but I think, you know, they obviously dropped points to the smaller teams early on, and that kind of hampered their progress. Obviously, they lost to the Dominican Republic, of course.
Yeah, and that final loss against Puerto Rico.
Yep.
But the winners of the preliminaries is Bermuda.
Goodness me.
So, that is the end of the preliminaries.
And the end
for
of 2018. Yeah, and the end of 2018 as a whole.
Yes, yeah, it is the end of 2018 if you look at it, yeah. So, Happy New Year, everybody, for the next time we do this, which will be next week, where we'll be doing the European qualifiers. We're right back to Europe and seeing how these teams, these qualifiers, how these qualifying teams will be able to do against some of the big guns of Europe.
Yeah, like your Spains, your Germanys, your Frances, of course.
Yes. And obviously reigning champions Portugal.
Of course.
So we'll see you next week for the European qualifiers. The top 8 teams go through the Global Trophy finals at the end of the month.
Absolutely. We'll see you for that.
We'll see you then.